It's my distinct pleasure to welcome Eric Lott to Dartmouth. You are someone who works in blackface minstrelsy and sees the way in which that mode of popular performance informed the ways in which white men developed their relation to their own masculinity, to their sense of class, to their position within the culture. And one of the figures you have been able to think about and enable us to think through is Mark Twain. Mr. Clemens and Jim Crow is a chapter in your brilliant forthcoming new book, The Black Mirror, The Cultural Contradictions of American Racism, in which you show how Mark Twain, in a sense, he's living in a period in which all those great American Renaissance writers are filled with New England Brahmin power. Mm-hmm. And he goes right into their citadel of seriousness and performs in a way that calls attention to all their pretensions and adds something. Would you talk about your discovery of the power of blackface minstrelsy informing, producing American culture through your reading of Huckleberry Finn?
Yeah, that's so well put, and it really is kind of the path I'm trying to tread. The idea of Mark Twain and Mr. Clemens and Jim Crow plays on the famous title of a famous biography of Twain, Justin Kaplan's Mr. Clemens and Mark Twain, which tries to get at the bifurcation in Twain's own sensibility between this Mississippi steamboat ex-pilot and the cultural respectability he sought in New England once he was married and increasingly became America's favorite author. My turning to a notion like Mr. Clemens and Jim Crow suggests that bifurcation was racialized. And it was racialized because of forms like blackface minstrelsy, which was so popular and which, for better and worse, Twain loved so much that he made use of blackface tropes and images all over perhaps his greatest work, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And the chapter that I have written in the forthcoming book that you mentioned and about which you are so kind, suggests that the character of Jim is very much based on minstrel show depictions of black Americans, black men. And this is not a thing to be skirted or lamented particularly. It's just, it seems to me, a fact that steeped in the culture of his day, Twain took the cultural resources at hand, blackface among them, and used them against the Brahmin sensibility that he found himself amidst in New England, and against the racist underpinnings that lay behind blackface performance. He used blackface against itself so effectively by basing the character of Jim, for example, on a blackface character and then showing Jim to be fully as human as any white American, and in some ways more cunning than Huck himself in using Huck's own racialized understandings of people like himself against Huck.